August 6th, 1945. An engineer is walking to work in Hiroshima when a new sun rips the city apart. He survives, battered and burned, only to return home, step into another unimaginable blast in Nagasaki, and survive again. Tsutomu Yamaguchi wasn't alone in defying death. A cyclist misses 2 doomed flights. A music teacher escapes 7 lethal accidents before hitting the lottery. These are 6 real coincidences that shouldn't even exist. Events so improbable, they defy logic and rewrite the boundaries of chance. But could these stories have happened to anyone? Or does reality sometimes outplay statistics? Here's what you're not supposed to believe, until you see the evidence. Tsutomu Yamaguchi is walking to work in Hiroshima the morning of August 6th. He's a marine engineer for Mitsubishi, finishing a business trip. At 8:15 a.m, the sky erupts, a magnesium white flash, a shockwave that tears through concrete and flesh. Yamaguchi is thrown to the ground, burns searing his arm and face. He staggers through the devastation, finds his co-workers, and somehow boards a train out of the ruined city. The journey takes him home to Nagasaki. 2 days later, bandaged and battered, he reports to his office. At 11:02 a.m, the world explodes again. He survives a second atomic blast. Official records later name him as the only person recognised by the Japanese government as a double hibakusha. He lives to 93, scarred but outspoken, telling the United Nations, "I can't understand why the world cannot understand the agony of nuclear weapons." Lightning isn't supposed to strike twice. Neither are atomic suns. Maarten de Jonge is a professional cyclist from the Netherlands. In March 2014, he is comparing ticket prices for a race in Asia. Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 fits his schedule, but he swaps it out for a cheaper route. MH370 vanishes over the Indian Ocean. 4 months later, he is planning his return from a European tour. MH17 is the obvious choice, until he changes his booking again, this time for convenience. That flight is shot down over Ukraine. News outlets pick up his story. The man who missed both doomed flights by pure chance. De Jonge gives interviews, describing last-minute switches and relief. But when reporters dig into airline records, his name is missing from both passenger lists. No ticket receipts, no official manifest entries. The only evidence is his own account. Still, the timing is uncanny. 2 disasters, 1 traveller, 2 near misses the world can't forget. Frane Selak, a music teacher from Croatia, steps onto a train in 1962. The carriage jumps the tracks and plunges into an icy river. 17 people die. Selak swims to shore, shaken but alive. A year later, he boards a plane. Mid-flight, a door rips open. 19 passengers are lost to the sky. He lands, battered, in a haystack. Over the next 3 decades, he claims to survive a bus crash, 2 car fires, a collision with a city bus, and even a plunge off a cliff, walking away time after time. In 2003, he buys a lottery ticket and wins the jackpot. The Croatian press calls him the world's luckiest unlucky man, but police records and hospital files are missing, and local journalists admit the details are impossible to confirm. Only the lottery win gets a nod from official sources. The rest? legend, retold in every language. Coincidence? Maybe. Hamilton, Bermuda, July 18th, 19... But Neville Ebbin, age 17, takes his moped down a familiar road. A taxi rounds the corner. The collision is fatal. 1 year later to the day, his younger brother Erskine, riding the same moped on the same stretch, is struck by a taxi and killed. Local newspapers confirm the dates, the brothers, the road, the moped. Retellings say the taxi even carried the same passenger both times, though no official record settles that detail. On a small island with few roads and fewer drivers, the symmetry still chills. Two brothers, one machine, identical fate. June 2001. 10-year-old Laura Buxton stands in her grandparents' garden in Staffordshire, pressing a note to a red helium balloon. She writes her name and address, "Let's go," and watches it drift away. Nearly 140 miles south, another 10-year-old, also named Laura Buxton, spots the balloon tangled in a hedge outside her home in Wiltshire. The note catches her eye. She writes back. School records confirm the match. Same name, same age, two girls in different counties. Their families arrange a meeting. Photographs capture the moment. Two Lauras, side by side, both tall for their age, both with light brown hair. The odds? Statisticians call it astronomical. A balloon meant for anyone, answered by a perfect stranger with the same name. Coincidence? Maybe. December 20th, 1922. J.G. Tierney, a surveyor, is working the Colorado River Canyon, charting the future site of Hoover Dam. A sudden flood sweeps him away. He becomes the project's first recorded fatality. 13 years later, on the same date, his son, Patrick Tierney, falls from an intake tower, dying in the final days of construction. Period newspapers confirm both deaths. The symmetry, father and son, first and last, same day, echoes through dam lore. A monument built by risk, bracketed by a single family. Coincidence? Maybe. On August 6th and 9th, 1940, Tsutomu Yamaguchi survived both atomic bombings, an event verified by government records and recognised in 2009. The Ebbin brothers' deaths in Bermuda, 1 year to the day apart, are confirmed in Royal Gazette archives. The Laura Buxton balloon coincidence was documented by BBC footage and school records. Airline manifests do not list Martin de Jonge on the doomed MH370 or MH17 flights, yet his case was widely reported at the time. Frane Selak's lottery win in 2003 is logged in Croatian national records, though earlier incidents remain partly unverified. The Tierney father-son deaths at Hoover Dam are recorded in Bureau of Reclamation files. While each story is anchored in documented facts, the true odds and causes behind these events remain open questions. Experts agree, coincidences challenge our sense of probability, but patterns alone do not equal explanation. History shows that even the best archives cannot answer every mystery. The record stands. These 6 cases happened, and their details remain as remarkable today as when first reported.